Our second session will spotlight RegTech in practice, lessons from implementation and innovation. This is about real-world case studies or regulators respond to rapid technological change by drawing from proven models. Here with us is Dr. Hau Chen Mike Lee. Dr. Lee earned his Doctor of Philosophy in Electrical Engineering from the State University of New York at Stony Brook. He is currently a banking strategy consultant at Far Eastern Group and has previously served as Executive Vice President of the Far Eastern Telecommunications and President of Far Eastern Toll Collection. He led major initiatives such as the award-nominated Smart City Tainan project and the nationwide electronic toll collection system in Taiwan. Again, everyone, let us give a warm round of applause to Dr. Lee.
All right, good morning. My name is Mike. I would like to thank APO and DAP for this wonderful event. Obviously, there are a lot of participants from different countries. This is actually the first time I presented to regulators in so many countries. It's actually from a private enterprise point of view, it can be quite shaky. You may want to know why I'm here. I actually work for an enterprise group in Taiwan. However, two of my working experience are mainly with regulator, has tight regulatory requirements. One is telecommunication, the other one is toll collections. So both, I have to work with regulators in a very tightly knit way so that we can work together to make the policy work. So I'm sort of at the receiving end of the policies that you make. And so from receiving end, I would like to present some of the views and some of the ideas or some of the information we collected that can be of useful to you. Oh, okay. Now this is a new controller, new clicker. Okay, next slide. Oh, okay, it works. So I actually go through this one already. All right. So I will do a very quick survey before we continue. I would like to know who am I working with today. The first question actually already been answered in the last session, so we can skip one. The second question, okay, I would like to know how often do you use AI? That includes ChatGPT, Gemini, Perplexity, blah, 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 everything that you can think of. So raise your hand when I ask, how often do you use? Number one, you never use any AI tool. Anybody here in the room never use any AI tool? It's okay. It's okay. If you never use it, you can raise your hand. There's nothing wrong with that. None. Okay. How often do you use? Occasionally, once or twice a month. Oh, one. Good, good, good. I like that. I like that. All right. The third one is sometimes, once every week. Some. Thank you. Thank you. This is courage. All right. Often, 60% of your work times. Okay. There are some more now. There are some more now. Okay, raise your hand if you use AI every day. Thank you very much. You see, you are personally using it every day. Yeah? And yes? Oh, okay. More than 50% of the people use it every day, right? But my next question is, does your organization have dedicated AI tool or pay for it? Pay for it means that ChatGPT, Gemini has enterprise version, that enterprise can pay for it, yeah? And, or you build AI tools using different technologies. Okay, let me know if your organization does not have any official UI tool or official subscription to those AI tools. How many of you does not have? Okay, thank you. How many of you, your organization actually has official AI tools or official subscription to AI's platforms? You see, there are a lot of missing hands. Not sure what happened. Huh? Thank you very much. Think about this. 100% of you using AIs. 50% of you using it every day. Less than 20% of you have official AI tools or subscriptions. What happened? Are you worried? Have you ever thought about that? Okay. Okay. What do you think for you as a person or organization is the biggest blocker to adopt AI? How many do you think computer, I don't know computers, so I don't know how to use AI, is the toughest, is the biggest blocker? None. Good. How many of you think that I'm not trained to use AI? None. You see? Interesting. How many of you think that because the policy is not clear, so that I don't use AIs? Or you're afraid that data access is a problem, that your organization don't use AIs? Not clear. Okay. So privacy and compliance. These are big blockers where organization is having problem adopting AIs. Okay. How do you feel about AIs in your organization? How many of you feel excited? Raise your hands. Not too many. Using it every day, but you don't feel very excited. Interesting. Thank you. How many of you feel curious? Okay, some. How many of you feel cautious? Oh, I got to be very careful how AI works. A lot. All right. How many of you feel overwhelmed? Holy cow! How many AI tools are in the world now? None. Good. You're confident. You're a very confident group. Okay, good. All right. Next, which risks worry you the most when adopting AIs? You think computation tools are the biggest risk? How many of you think computers are the biggest blocker? No. Skills and trainings? Some. Okay, thank you. Policy clarity and governance? Data quality access? How many of you think data quality access is the biggest worry right now? Okay. And how many of you think privacy is the biggest worry of you? Some, all right? So you see, this is a tool that everybody uses, but we are not sure about what the risk we are facing. We are not sure about what are the most difficult part that we are facing. I have to reiterate what Dr. Oikazawa just said. The best approach is understanding, prioritize, trial, and scale, correct? I think, okay. This is, I think, I learned that a lot from his presentation. All right, because this is the toughest time to do presentation. The presentation before lunch is the lowest sugar level of a day. So I know everybody fell asleep quite quickly. So I actually put the conclusion right at the front. So I hope you can take away the following things after 40 minutes of my presentation. RegTech becomes essential for automating all the process right now, all right? And originally started in finance industry, but nowadays it's rapidly expanding into different public sectors, okay? There are 5 latest, I say latest, not the only. AI is evolving so fast. Latest capabilities, capability pillars of AIs. It's a large language model, retrieval augmented generations, agentic AI reasoning and code. How many of you knows that AI now can write computer programs by itself? If you tell it, How many of you knows? A lot. How many of you tried? Oh, there is an expert here that from Taiwan. She's an expert in AI. If you want to ask anything about AI, you can check with her. So these are the latest AI capabilities, and it's fast evolving, still improving. 2 years ago, I did a tutorial about AI for APO. Only has the first two. 2 years later, now has 5. I don't know what will happen 2 years later if we have a chance to get together again. So basically, the fundamental thing is the AI is going to reshape a lot of activities, especially on the documentation collections, regulation-based question and answering, real-time monitoring, and scalable efficiencies. These are the tools that provide strong potentials, but it's so worrying and also very, very scary in a way that you see machines become so smart. Okay. Let me ask, how many of you seen ChatGPT, Gemini, or AI tools lie? Lie means he's providing counterfactual information. Not incorrect, counterfactual information. Have you seen that? One. I hope next time you use AI, ask them 2 questions after you get an answer. Number 1, ask it to provide references. How did it come about this conclusion? What reference did it use to come about this conclusion to you? The second thing is, ask it to provide the reference. You know what I mean? Ask it, okay, you got this conclusion. Where do you get this from? Oh, I got this paper, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And ask it to provide the paper to you. You will be surprised. Sometimes it cannot. It cannot. So it's scary in a way that it's telling you so many things, and you are not sure about how it come about. Okay. So, but it's extremely efficient tool. You can see previous presentation, 40% of time is saved in preparing work, 18% times that you actually provide better writings. So extremely efficient tool, right? I would like to bring up what Taiwan do right now for the AI policy. There are 2 things I think they did very, very well. Number 1 is they put a lot of focus on industry adoptions. How to encourage industry to adopt AI applications, right? The second thing is they put a lot of money into cultivating talents. I think these are 2 things every country here can use. You have good students, you have good young people. Government should try to encourage them. The government should try to guide them into it, even provide startup fundings, seed money to let them start, so that you have talents that's cultivated by your agencies. And you also need to work with your industry, regardless whether it's advanced or behind, to help them learn how to use AIs. Industry adoption is a very important thing. Once you do these 2 Ps, you may come up with a very unique AI policy of your own, okay? The last one is, I would encourage audience here to develop your own AI benchmarks. You have a domain knowledge of yourself. You know what your domain is. And think about this. If you want to evaluate an AI tool for your boss to spend money on, what will you do? What is the benchmark that your device will prepare to evaluate against different AI tools? What will that be? And think about that. And once you start thinking about that, not necessarily every time you use it, but once you start building it, you get to know how you can adopt AIs, right? So I hope this is the 5 takeaways that we can go through. Oh, okay, RegTech, this is a word actually introduced in 2015 in finance industry by UK FCAs. And nowadays, it becomes very important in anti-money laundering operations. All right, so this actually has direct impact on the banking side, but it's difficult to really regulate to really put regulations automated online. So the second part is actually difficult, but it's still progressing. You can see that people are still working on this. Different tools are still being built. Different areas are still being advanced in this financial RegTech part. And there are 3 important pieces that currently is impacting RegTech on the financial side. The first one is blockchain. Blockchain, you probably know that it's fundamental. It's actually a non-refutable transaction that's occurring in a chain. A very simple one. So you cannot, if you do a transaction on blockchain, you cannot revert it back. Right? You cannot take away, it doesn't disappear, and it has multiple copies, so you cannot erase them all. So blockchain is now becomes a very important foundations for some of the RegTech, financial RegTech part. The second one is consent management. Europeans have many requirements about collecting personal information online. So you have to do a lot of yes to actually put the information in. Yeah? This actually has to be automated so that a regulator can check. And the third one is sandboxes and real-time tracking. These are key development in the RegTech part, financial RegTech part. In Taiwan, the RegTech development actually focused very strongly on anti-money laundering. AML is the key application for RegTech in Taiwan. And you can see up and down, regulators' view and banks' view. The regulators focus a lot on deploying AML systems. So they want anti-money laundering operation online, real-time trackable. But when it comes to their own regulation automations, it becomes slow. So you can see regulators take 2 different views on this. And the banks, which is the receiving side of it, also takes different views. If the regulator want me to do full system on anti-money laundering, yes, I'll do it. But if you don't insist on automating your regulations, then I won't do it either. So there is actually a dialogue going between regulators and private enterprises. And you can see how the regulators' attitude actually impacts the banks a lot. And from finance RegTech solution nowadays, because of AIs, the AI is powering a lot of different technologies right now, especially the regulatory technology tool. So I would like to spend a little bit of time on this because you need to understand what's currently available. And I would like to explain it in a very layman way, not becomes techy, right? Oh, by the way, if you want to interrupt me, it's okay, but one question only. I cannot dialogue with you, but you can interrupt me. There are 5 key pillars today. Number 1 is large language models. That's everybody's using. When you type in something like, okay, I need to write a report to my boss about RegTech, please write one for me. That's the large language model, all right? Okay, and I hope you quote my presentation, but I don't know. Okay. All right, the second one is called retrieval augmented generation, here, RAG. I ask you, have you ever detect your AI tool lied? Yeah? How do you prevent it from giving wrong information? There is a set of techniques currently available called retrieval augmented generation, which means that you want the AI system to retrieve authenticated information first, then answer, instead of answering directly. Yeah? So this is very fundamental and very important. The third one is agentic AI. It's the hottest word right now on Silicon Valley. That means that a lot of automated programs are working together. So you have one program is probably detecting all the transactions about money laundering. And at the same time, if the regulation change, another agent will tell it what are the changes. So you can have multiple self-operating programs working together called agentic AIs. Reasoning, nowadays, AI tools, ChatGPTs, Geminis, Perplexities, are able to reason. What does reason mean? Reason means that they are able to break your question down to smaller chunks so that they achieve it step by step and give you the answer. That's called reasoning. So it's a little bit different from what we think reasoning is, but it's actually capable of doing that. So you give it a question, and you see some of the system will say thinking, yeah? If you click that thinking, it will tell you how it actually asks itself to reason through your questions. And code. Code is basically automatic actions. So it's now able to write computer program by itself. If you ask it to write a Python program, you can do it. You can ask it to write a C++. You can ask it to write a web page for you in almost 0 time. Yeah? And these are the 5 latest. Okay, I have to say latest. It's not the only capability pillars. And these 5 pillars are now constructing a very powerful tools that's impacting our life. And people are saying that maybe in the future, 90% of the program actually generated. Not your programmers or people doing it. So you can imagine that those people who invented AI did not know that they actually get themselves out of the job, right? Yeah? They did not know that. So this is a little bit more elaborate on what that is. Large language models are actually those interfaces that you see. If you see those tools, you can realize that it's actually able to comprehend what your intention is. So large language model is very good at comprehending what your intention is. You may not have to say everything explicitly, but it understands. All right? And retrieval augmented generation, this is something that I would like you to put some focus on, because you all come from government agencies and you don't want to have bad information going out. How do you guarantee that your information is correct? This is actually a very standard way of doing it, which means you retrieve information first and before giving the answer out. But what information do you retrieve? How you index the information that you can retrieve? These are technical things. We are not going into it. So this is important tools that you should be doing before you generating an answer that you should check. Somehow your system or your tool should check and authenticated places, okay? Right, agentic AI, this is a very, very new things. Now it becomes a very important tools that people are building system around. So in the future, you see a lot of automatic program working together, right? And then one is looking after or monitoring situation. The other one is maybe actually taking actions according to monitoring results. And the third one may be actually checking if the result fits the regulatory requirements. Okay, so this is actually programs working together. It's very much like in your organization, people working together. I'm going to skip this. There's just some impacts. And now it comes to what AI industry, where the values are. In the past press, in the newspapers, people talk about ChatGPT's version 5, thinking, all different type of things. Gemini's, Cloud, Code, and Perplexity. A lot of news or hypes are in foundation layer, this layer. Okay. But the actual values are on the top. The biggest value for AI is actually in applications. It's just that now people are actually investing and building it. So in the future, you are not going to build foundation models because the foundation models will have companies build for you. But you have to be responsible for building applications on top. So application building actually is the key. How you build that is something that maybe in the back of your mind you want to think about it, or maybe you should think about it right now. So I would like to emphasize that the real value is in application, not in those models, right? But there is also a regulation around AIs that's currently happening. I think there will be a speakers that talked about it later. But I want to let you know that there are two very distinct regulatory concepts nowadays. One is the European countries that they actually set up comprehensive rules around it, use a risk-based approach to do it. And there's another side, which is the United States. Basically, they are not trying to regulate it at all. They want to just keep the innovation going, and you just keep generating new stuff out. I am not going to regulate you. I would like to emphasize a bit on this regulation part. It's my personal view. How many of you use AI tool to write report to your colleagues or your boss? How many of you? Many of you. How did you check the result or the report result is correct? How do you check that? How many of you actually check the result of ChatGPT or Gemini before you send it out? 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. Thank you. We have half the room using AI tool every day. About 10% checked the result before you send it out. So what happened if the information inside the report is not authenticated, is incorrect, or even counterfactual? So it's a great tool. Please check. You send it out, please check. Check in detail. Yes, it gives you wonderful experience. The report I used to do may take me half a day. Now it's in 10 minutes. Great, but please check. Taiwan has a big AI policies. Okay, it has many facets, infrastructures, industries, all these kind of things. I'm not going to go into detail, as I said, that I think there are two things that they did very well. But they want to enable industry development in a general way. So they expand computing powers, they provide open data, and they develop and attract AI talents here. And then they start to build, cultivate talents and also industrial adoptions, okay? So these are two things I'll talk about it later. This is the grandiose 10 AI projects that the government is proposing. I'm not going to go into that, all right? But I would like to get a feeling of how Taiwan is looking at it. Taiwanese government is really putting a lot of effort in building AI industries. Not only the industry itself, they also want to sort of make it like a people movement, you know? So they're now educating AI in high schools and in colleges, of course, and then constantly talked about it. Even one of the cabinets say they are the AI cabinet. It's going all the way, all right? So it's really pushing very hard on developing this whole industry framework, and hopefully they want the AI to be embedded in the society in a very deep way. And there are three agencies that are mainly guiding the development of AI policies. The first one is the Ministry of Digital Affairs, which is actually a very new agency that created in 2022. And the second one is National Development Council. And the third one is Taiwan National Science and Technology Council. So these are three agencies that are mainly responsible for developing the whole blueprint for the AI policies. And there are also sector guidelines. So the financial ministry will start to provide guidelines for their own sectors. So it's sort of three agencies moving, looking at the whole pictures, and each individual minister has to come up with its own guidelines. Now, it's very important that they actually spend a lot of effort doing industrial adoptions. So in Taiwan, they want to make sure that AI go into all industries, not only just the advanced ICT industries. They want AI to go into textile, machining, even the smallest company. They hope that there are use cases for AIs. So how they do that? They actually have funding for companies to use AI applications, if you know how to do it. And also, they actively bridging talent program and companies. So when companies goes to the agency, say, oh, okay, I'm interested in adopting AI, but I don't know who to work with. They have a set programs to allow the company to work with AI talents. Okay, so it's not just putting out a big framework about computation, about infrastructures. They actually focus more on industry adoption. I think this is actually very important, a good ideas. Because for companies, regular companies, it's difficult to understand what this is, especially those traditional enterprises. They may be 50-year-old companies, and then you say, oh, okay, please adopt AI. They say, what the heck is AI? You know? And there has to be a way to guide them, right? And I think here, you are generating applications, right? Because each adoption is an application. So this, in turn, create values in the top part of the landscape I just showed. So this actually, I think, is actually quite smart to do it this way. So this is Ministry of Digital Affairs. I'm not going to go into this, and I thank them for providing me with their raw data about these agencies. The key agencies that's monitoring all this activity is Agency for Digital Industries and Administrations for Digital Industry, ADI. They have a big framework of how to do this, but I would like to go in more detail on this page. So what they do is they start with industry pain points. They want the company to officially submit to the agency, okay, what are your pain points? We may not have solutions, but tell us what's your pain points, all right? And then they try to match with companies that can solve that pain points. So this creates a cycle. There's a problem, and there's a problem solver. And the combination of it is the application, okay? And they also provide a good open data from government so that you can utilize it. And there are many questions, many pain points the government agency has. Actually can start with using the open data they publish. And the next one is cross-industry data integrations. They start to look at how you cross data sources from different places so that solution can be more general. So you look at this and you realize that they want to create a circle. Make sure that enterprise problems, data, solutions are all inside the circle to create real applications. I think this is actually it's a good policy, which is probably universal for all of you, because in your country, you have your own industries, you have your own unique areas of excellence where you can really work with them to develop your specialties. This is how they plan to do industry upgrade, because Taiwan also have very old companies, small companies that are operating for 40 or 50 years. You probably don't know that Taiwan is the largest exporter of nuts and bolts. We export many notebooks and computer servers, but actually Taiwan also is the largest nuts and bolts exporter. So there are many small companies that are still around. I would like you to focus on this red part. It says, addressing pain points of enterprises and cultivating practice, talent through AI problem solving. So basically, that's the circle I just mentioned over and over again. The problem set, the solver, and the data. The three should be linked together so that these three combined create applications, which applications is probably unique to your country, okay? We focus on specific manufacturing, healthcare, retail, public issues, and there are 71 industry issues that's being proposed, that they collect them. There's more than 6 actually, social issues that's been raised, and there were lots of teams. You can see 172 teams. Most of these teams are from universities, like professors and students, and some are young entrepreneurs that they want to get into AIs. So you create these circles. The problem set, matching the problem set with the talents. And also, they have focused program to develop talents, starting from educating people from high school, vocational school, about AIs. Sometimes you feel that, do you need to really start that early? Well, they think so, and I appreciate that. And there's a list of development program starting to educate people and starting to let people know what AI is and how you can apply it, how you can use it. Again, none of the foundational model companies are in Taiwan. None. OpenAI, Google, they are not in Taiwan. But why we are doing all this? We are building applications. That's the top value of the value chain, not the middle part. And they build a lot of competitions amongst the amongst the talent teams. So usually enterprise will send out a question. There may be 3 to 5 team proposed solutions, and then there will be a panel of professors to evaluate those solutions and then match the enterprise with the solution team. And they have been doing this for over 5 years. I think a lot of small and young companies grow from that. They start to touch different enterprises and make sure that they have way to show their talents and solve real questions. So there are a lot of opportunities for AIs in government sectors. You see, the left side is the AI capability. The AI is really powerful. You see that it can recognize things. It knows how to detect events. It knows how to do forecasting. It can also do interactions, right? It's really capable tools now you are using. And where you can use it in, and I hope this page from OECD can help you a bit, well, to consider your applications. But there are a lot of risks. So 8 minutes left. I need to talk about risk. Ethical risk. Do you provide correct information? Operational risk. People attack systems, and the attack is getting more and more serious. And the attack can be also at the country level. I don't know if you are aware that when DeepSeek was charade in the press, they went down for about 3 days because there was serious attack against them. Exclusion risks. People with digital divide. People without access to network, without access to computers, will be further and further far apart from those who can. As government agencies or government ministers, you need to consider that, because you cannot have people further and further apart. And public resistance. People are not sure about what you want to do and what AI can help. And inaction, risk of inaction. That's the last one, but it's actually, it tells it all. If you think, oh, there are so many risks, let's sit there and not doing anything, which I will advise completely against. You need to try to work on it, do something about it, continuously evolve it, and continuously improve it. So there are ways you can build trustworthy AIs. First is, now think about your governance. The second thing is how you enable it. All those policies are nice. What tools do you use to enable it? And guardrails. This is something that I would like to emphasize a bit. That you need to provide guardrails for your tools. There are ways you can protect. And how you engage with your stakeholders, and how you make sure that your AI tool from government actually is trustworthy. Trustworthiness is a key word, but I have to say that it's something that private enterprise does not treasure. So if you have used ChatGPT 2 years ago, you realize I lied a lot. I'm using the word lie, yeah? It's not hallucinating, it's lied a lot, all right? But now it's getting much better. Now the question is, private companies will just roll it out. It doesn't care if it lied, yeah? But government cannot, right? You cannot do that. So this actually creates a very big discrepancies. They have free hands to do something that's not completely correct. But the government has to have a way to control it a bit. Or else, you can imagine the disinformation or misinformation comes out of it. Yeah? Okay, the last thing I would like to talk about is building a benchmark. how to evolve self to use AI? My suggestion, you start building a benchmark. Where do you get the benchmark from? You think about your use case. You start from looking at yourself and say, where do I use AI for? And you look at the use case. Oh, I use it for data research. I use it for report generations. I use it for document or whatever. From use case, you develop a list of expected behavior from your tool. Okay, if it does data research, it should go to some authentic area to retrieve data, not imagining by itself, for example, right? And when you do report generations, you want to make sure that it's quoting from the right source, yeah? And you develop from use case, and then you think about what you expect it to behavior, and then you provide a list of benchmarks. And this list of benchmarks, you can apply to different tools and see how they behave differently. And this is not one-off. You can continuously evolve it, continuously checking it. And in that case, you can develop a sense of how you plan to use AI tools. So I think developing benchmark is a good starting point for you to look at yourself and to look at your organization, and also you become a responsible agencies to deliver a trustworthy AI tools. So these are general frameworks, very high-level ones, and then I'll give it for a reference. So again, I'll come back to this. RegTech is becoming pervasive. The 5 strong pillars of technical capabilities are important for you to understand. You have to understand it first. And tools are enabling great capabilities nowadays. And I strongly encourage you to think about how you cultivate your own talents, how you do your own industry adoptions, and finally, please develop your own benchmark to evaluate against all the AI tools. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Lee, for showing us how smart regulation and innovation can truly go hand in hand. Again, everyone, a warm round of applause for Dr. Lee.